So in today's video, I wanted to talk about a wonderful trick that you can use. It's a really common melodic device that's used in a lot of bebop style jazz playing. And again, this will apply to anything like fusion, rock music. It's just a really, really good kind of melodic trick that is not super complicated. It's relatively easy to get under your fingers and it sounds great. So this technique that I'm talking about is called a run through. And it's a form of enclosure. If you aren't familiar with what an enclosure is, it's where you have a target note. Say I was targeting this note F. This would be an example of an enclosure. Something like that. That's one. Any way you get around enclosing it. But a run through is a really, really simple one, where you start a scale tone above the target notes. Say I was targeting that F. The next note in, say it's the F major scale is what I'm thinking of. I would put G in front of it, and then I put a half step below. That's the enclosure. So 1 and 2 and 3, da 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 da. And it's called a run through because you run through your target note. So this kind of trick adds a really nice kind of like twisty, turny sense to things. So let's say I was soloing over, let me really quickly just get a loop happening actually. So let's say my loop was 1 bar of F major 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I go 2, 5, or G minor 7, C7. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So if that's my loop, let's see if I can get a natural sounding enclosure to come out. I'm going to work on doing a run through on that F. So that was an actual enclosure, not a run through. Let me try that again. There was a couple in there. So it's this great little line because what it helps kind of facilitate is changing direction. So you get this da 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 da. It's going lower and then it goes higher. Da 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 da. It can be a really, really, really nice sound. So let's explore some ways that you can work on getting it in. So you could enclose any chord tone on that F major. So for example, if I was trying to enclose that F, da, 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 da. I could also enclose the third, and now again remember the rule for this is the scale tone above followed by a chromatic note below. So if I was thinking F major and I was trying to enclose the third of the chord, which would be A, my scale tone above would be B flat, and then my chromatic note below would be A flat or G sharp. So that could sound like this. So that, enclosing the root. Da, 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 da. Let's see what happens if we were to enclose the fifth. That would be the note C. So I would put the note D above it, and then B natural below it. Da, 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 da. That's a nice little line. Da, 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 da. So, da, 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 da. Now, if I were to enclose the major 7th, this again gives me, similar to over my third, it's going to be a fully chromatic run through where my scale note above is going to be my root. Would be an example of that. So I have F, running down to E flat would be my chromatic note below. And these all work in a musical context. So let me just do one run where I do a little, I'll play for a bar and I'll kind of loop it around once. So if I were to enclose the root, I would have enclosing the third, enclosing the fifth, enclosing the 7th. You get all of these cool little sounds. Now there, I was starting kind of the bar with the run through. What if I did it later? So a really cool sound for this would be to play an arpeggio kind of idea. So say I went up the F major arpeggio from F. What if I went do 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 da 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 da, something like that. So I did my run through on the 7th there. I played just an F major 7 arpeggio. So F, A, C, E, F, E, D sharp, F, E, and then maybe you can come out of this however you want. But here, rather than starting with the run through, I'm ending that line with the run through. So do 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 do. So there it comes in the second half of the bar rather than the start. Now what if I did the same thing but I started the arpeggio from A, the 3rd? Then I might get da 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 da. Ooh, not that. Da 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 da. So there, my enclosure ended up being on the 3rd. Da 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 da. I could also enclose the root there and go. So there's kind of limitless possibilities with this. This works on minor chords too. So let's say I was doing F minor 7. So now I have the notes F, A flat, C, and E flat. Again, I could enclose it. I can enclose the 3rd. I can enclose the 5th. I can enclose the flat 7th. And again, I could do that all later, so I could go da 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 da. However you want to go about it, you can mess around with putting these run-throughs in. But the core of this idea is they're relatively easy to grab, where you just want to enclose an arpeggio note, or a chord tone, if you want to think about it that way. And it's a great way to just get these little kind of like slip-sliding directional kind of lines into your playing, and it's such a powerful sound that is on so many records. So if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It truly helps me out more than you could know. If you're looking to take a guitar lesson with me, there's a link to get in touch with me down in the description. I'd love to work with you on whatever's troubling you on the guitar. If you're looking to support me in the free educational content that I put out here on the channel, a great way to do that would be subscribing to my Patreon down below. All of my patrons get early access to videos as well as cool behind-the-scenes looks at stuff that I'm working on and doing. Another great way to support the channel is to purchase either my ebook or my video course. That's all about triads on the guitar. It's a great way to support me, and it also gets you some really good educational content that's a little bit more in-depth than I can go to in a single, 10-15 minute YouTube video. And last but not least, I have new videos coming out every single Monday and every single Thursday, so I hope I'll see you in the next one, and until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar.